So last week we went down to the UK Social Media Results Conference. We were speaking, and we were very much speaking about how to use social listening to boost your social media strategy, and also how to measure the impact of social media. And it was quite refreshing to see how many people are now incorporating it as part of their wider marketing mix and reporting back holistically. A couple of brands, like for example, have developed their own econometric models which now take into account social media, and also like people starting to recognise that it's not this big fancy all singing or dancing marketing campaign and then a bit of social, that they're actually leading with maybe social first strategies now.
I think it was really clear that it isn't just this is the way you do social. Like, everybody does have their kind of own bespoke way of doing it, but underlying it's making sure that they link to those business objectives. In terms of listening to people, when we heard from Love Island at the conference, they were talking about those Love Island water bottles that we were all talking about. Everybody has. My mum even had one of them. Like, they've gone everywhere, and ultimately that was a result of listening to a conversation and noticing that, a lot of these people are talking about those bottles that just happen to be on the show, trying it out a few and selling out instantly, and then making millions from it. Social's this incredible tool to really discover things about your audience.
We've just got to keep talking and keep talking about the power of social media, and keep showcasing case studies and talking about our work. And I think as well, it's important for agencies and clients to work together to keep hammering home those messages, and that's when it's really, gonna, I think, hit home.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the exciting thing for me that came out of it was this big chat that we're having about kind of the future of social media, and the fact that kind of soon in the next kind of couple of years we're going to have 5G that's going to kind of completely revolutionise the way we put out content as brands. And I was looking at the stats before, and they did a test with 5G in Canada where they managed to download Iron Man 2 in 90 seconds at HD, which is just mind-blowing. If you think about it now, if in the future, if people are going to be able to watch kind of Netflix at the drop of a hat anywhere they are,
and cinematic quality.
Exactly, they're not going to be kind of turning to Facebook as much, or social media as much, for entertainment, if they've got all these other kind of apps at the drop of a hat that they can kind of get anywhere. I think one of the best things that I heard from a guy from Just Giving at the panel, and he said it's time to kind of get off the newsfeed and get into notifications. And I think that really kind of hammered home the importance of looking at how people are using those platforms, and particularly with Facebook, looking at using those private groups where people get notified every time someone posts, and how we can kind of capitalise on that. And so I think groups are a massive opportunity for brands if you use them in the right way.
So I guess I'd like to think that sitting here in a couple of years' time, when we're fully immersed in 5G, or who knows, maybe even 6G, maybe we're presenting as avatars of ourselves, that for me, the one thing that I'd like to see is that we're not having to prove the value of social media anymore, that's just commonplace, and we're very easily able to measure it and prove the impact that it's having, and that people more and more are leading with social first strategies.
I think we've come so far, but there's a long way to go, and it'll be great to see clients and brands really embrace social and really kind of use their social media to engage personally with their audiences. So I think it's going to hopefully bring brands and audiences closer and closer together, which will be lovely to see.
I hope so, because actually, if you think about it, that's the whole reason social media was set up, to be social and to encourage interactions between people. And in some ways, I feel like we've moved a little bit further away from that, and maybe we'll see social coming back to its original purpose, but for good reasons.
A more social.